Hey guys, and welcome back to the road to 1600, where I am currently trying to double my elo rating. I got a pretty quick game today, as I was putting some pressure on my opponent in the middle game, and he did not like that. But if this is the first time finding the channel, feel free to like and subscribe as we continue to grow. Let's go take a look. Okay, here we go. Relatively quick game here, so let's just jump right in. Starting off at 799, going up against 959. So you know me, I'm looking at that and I'm getting a little nervous. But this was a pretty fun game. So, if you know me, as white, I am playing the London. It's a good setup, it's good structure, it's good defense. Is it a little bit boring? Yes it is. I'm not going to pretend. I don't think it's a little bit boring. But as I'm learning a system and practicing with one system or opening, I think I need to do a little bit better job of staying consistent, and so this is my way of trying to stay consistent in how I'm learning and approaching things. So, setting everything up like normal, and I watched a video today where it was like a London system traps, and if they were mirroring, I remember this too, I need to go back and look it up, but if they mirror my opening moves, there is some nasty little trap that I can play. But I didn't remember it at the time. I remembered it existed, didn't remember exactly how it all worked. But I'm just developing normally. Nothing out of the ordinary so far. Usually if I get pressure onto my bishop, it's usually from a pawn or a more central related knight. So a knight on the edge putting pressure on my pawn was a little bit different, but I handled it the same as I would handle the pressure if it was like a central, pressure. So I was like, rock back, I'm going to take with my rook to open up the rook, to keep that kingside open, expecting a kingside castle from my opponent. So, setting up normally, nothing out of the ordinary so far. Interesting. I wonder if that was just that move to move his c-pawn was just, again, mirroring. Don't really know what I was planning to do there. That probably wasn't a great move. I didn't really know what to do at this point. I was trying to start thinking about how to move stuff to the king side, but maybe if I could get my knight to c5, I could maybe poke and prod around. I don't know. I didn't really know what the plan was there. And I was trying to think of that trap, and I feel like that trap was on the queen side. But I don't know. I didn't do anything with that. That was useless. So the opponent's building a nice little pyramid himself. He didn't trap his bishop in. We got pretty similar setups thus far. That was an interesting one. I think he was trying to come put pressure on my knight. And so I'm, again, developing normally. That was also an interesting one. I don't typically see bishop to e4, but yeah, didn't really let it phase me. I was continuing with my development. I mean, if he took my bishop, I would take him, and if he would take my knight, I would take him back again. So, again, not exactly sure what the logic was there, but I wasn't going to try to overthink it and have it get in the way. So, he slides over, takes my pawn, puts pressure on my rook. So I say, okay, that's fine, because my rook is protected by my queen. And this is where it kind of gets fun. I was thinking to myself, okay, if you take my rook, I'm going to move my queen up. And then if I can get my queen on the diagonal to f7, I think that's mate. The queen can't take me, the king. Because my knight is planted firmly in the center there, I think that's mate at this point. So I was thinking, okay, if he doesn't take me, I'm going to take his rook and pin his bishop to his king. And then I'm also going to move my queen up anyway, and if he does take me, I'm just going to move to the h5 space. So I was feeling pretty good about that one. And his light squared bishop is kind of just trapped at the bottom of the board. There's just no... I mean, he has moves, he can get out of there, but he, kind of trapped himself into this kind of no man's land. So he sees what I see, I think, about defending that rook and having that bishop be pinged to his king. But I said, okay, I mean, that's fine. I'm just going to go ahead, take your rook for check. You can slide up. You can take my my rook. I was kind of willing to lose that rook anyway. I'm going to bring my queen to h5. I'm threatening mate onto f7. And if he doesn't take my mate, then I'm just going to slide down and take his bishop. So kind of a free bishop there. Get him into check. And yeah, he's got problems right now. I'm up some material. I'm up one major piece. I'm putting some good pressure on. I could bring my light squared bishop in to help. I could bring my other knight up to c5 and then figure it out from there into help. Yeah, I have options as to where I can continue my attack. Because if he slides his queen down to cover, I'd probably trade queens since I'm up material. Maybe I shouldn't do that, but I was willing to do that at the time. But he just decides that there's too much pressure, and he resigns after 15 moves. I don't know if I've had this before. That was definitely interesting. I was putting some good pressure on. I think I had some more, tactics I could have found. But that knight, right in the center, I kind of ignored his bishop coming down, and I kept my pressure up. And it worked well. It was fun. It was a good game. It was a quick game. And I think that's the highest rated opponent I've ever beat. So, yay. Happy on that one. So, if you made it this far, once again, I appreciate it. Feel free to like and subscribe as we continue to grow. And with that, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thanks.